Well, a good day, everybody, wherever you are, whether it's good morning or good afternoon or good evening. It's back with our lymphedema little catch-up, and Rocio from the US, and I'm in Sydney, Australia. We're going to just share with you some of our takes on managing lymphedema with regard to the psychology of lymphedema. And Rachel, welcome, my darling. I'm so pleased you could join us. So Rachel is our patient interview today. So I'm just going to start off and just sum up a little bit about what the issues are. I love Rocio. Now, Rocio is in the US, and she's not only a practitioner, but she's a patient with lymphedema as well. We actually connected through this common link that we have. So recently, I was in Austria at the Dr. Vodder School. And at the Dr. Vodder School, I was really blown away by the effort and amount of time that the patients that are coming in, they come in 3 weeks a year. It's covered by government health. So any person with diagnosed lymphedema can book into the Vodder School, and it's covered by government health. Now, wouldn't that be amazing if that happened in Australia? Unfortunately, that is not the case. Rocio, what is it like in the US?
Same way. I mean, if you have to have health insurance in order to have access to the care, the medical care for lymphedema. Yeah. I have not heard of any government help for it. Yeah.
So there's not a lot of support. So this is one of the issues that impact on the psychology of lymphedema patients, is the lack of financial support. Just little things like finding the right clothing, being able to buy the right shoes. And this is where Rachel's going to help us out, because she's just the queen of elegance. Another issue that came up in the research papers I've been looking through is the daily self-care that is required to look after. And sometimes there's an impression from the patient that it's the waste of time, but it's not. It's the joy of self-management, because it's not a serious condition. Even though it's not curable, it is so easily managed with the right tools. So some of the issues that we'll just go through, and I'm going to mention some of these. So Rachel, if there's any of these you want to address from your point of view, and you, Rocio, as well, these are the pointers that came up in the research, that it's distress, anxiety, fear, mood disturbance, emotional disorder, marginalization, the stigma attached, the lack of health care that is available, social isolation, and in fact, in some instances, the withdrawal socially, provider support. I think that is a big issue. And some of the things which I really would love Rachel to address is some patients feel, and this came out of the research papers and the research done into the subject, they feel ugly, they feel old, they feel unattractive, they feel disgusted, they have a bad body image, negative self-identity, all of those kind of things. And what we want to give all you patients who will be listening to this recording are tools that these two amazing patients use to take this issue and make it very manageable. So, Rachel, what have you got to say as a patient, my love?
Well, you know what? I just flaunt it now.
Love it.
And I forget I actually have lymphedema, which is funny. So because I run quite a big business, I actually forget it, but I try to maintain it at the same time, but fear never. And my family are actually really good about it. Like, they encourage me a lot, like, go do lymphatic drainage. They're like, no, you look fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Like, when you wear a skirt, your legs look beautiful. And I'm like, really? Like, I don't think so. Like, with the veins and all that. But no, it's been fine. I love it. And me, Margie, I just, whatever. I live with it.
I've had Rachel in the clinic for, I don't know, is it 20 years, love? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very long time.
And I just enjoy
so lucky to have Margie.
Like it's fun. Like I'm on my feet 24/7, 7 days a week, and I'm non-stop go. Margie knows me. I'm a machine. And they get swollen. They do. Like they do swell up when I'm on them overly too much. One tends more than the other, but I've never really had any side effects. And my diet's healthy. My mum cooks healthy. And I do look after myself. I go personal training once a week. And yeah, so.
And Rachel, tell me about your clothes, because I watch you on Facebook. You always look absolutely amazing when you go out. You look like a film star.
Yes, I'm always in the high-end stuff. But I buy the high-end stuff from Target and Kmart and no one even knows. So, no. Yeah, no, I love my clothes. I love my fashion. And you know what? I dress up and I post it and I get a million comments. Even Margie knows. Margie comments. And I always get comments off Facebook as well. Once I posted, oh my God, Rachel, like you look amazing, whatever. So you know what? It's not even like I have lymphedema. Even my mum pushes me, like, go do detox this and go to appointments. And I'm just like, nah, mum, can't be bothered. Like, it's Margie or nothing. So, you know.
My only, what I have to say to my beautiful Rachel, she's a little bit non-compliant. She doesn't always wear her bandages. She doesn't always wear her garments. But you know what? She lives life to the full. Her quality of life is in the top drawer. And this is what I want other patients to get from you, that you just live a normal life and you just make allowances for it. And you just keep on doing, you exercise, you eat well, you dress like a model, you know, you really take care that you feel great all the time.
Yeah. My friends, they call my feet pillows and they sit there, they lie on them. They're like, we love them. I'm like, I hate them. Do you want them?
Oh, Rachel, you're such an inspiration, love, honestly.
Thank you.
So, sweetie, what tip would you give other patients who are going to be watching this recording?
You know what? Enjoy it, flaunt it, do your massages. I encourage to wear the stockings. Personally, I despise them, but that's because I'm on the go all the time. And just you just literally you have to flaunt it. Like I don't even think I have it half the time. I forget about it, honestly. And Margie knows that. I literally forget about it. If it wasn't for Margie massaging me, I wouldn't even think. Honestly. I'm that
Rachel, I know you're really busy. I mean, you open up the businesses like at this time. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on this call and just share your point of view. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's fun. My pleasure. I enjoy it. No, it's good. And I'm at the pedicure chairs every 6 weeks doing my pedicures. They're like, your feet are amazing. Like, yeah. I'm in the high heels, even though Margie doesn't let me wear them, but we're always in high heels.
Whenever she's on Facebook, she's got the most beautiful shoes. If I walked in them, I'd fall over. And she doesn't only just walk, she dances as well.
Of course. We have to dance.
Yeah.
So now, Rocio, just share what you do to overcome any of these little issues that have been commonly found with lymphedema patients.
Well, for me, just like everybody, you know, when you start to see that I have secondary lymphedema. So when I started to see that my left leg was swelling and it was very, very uncomfortable, especially because I was working 14 hours a day on my feet. And at the end of the day, it was like, oh my God, you know, it was a lot. But my days off, I elevated my leg. And this was in the beginning. I didn't know what else I could do for it because I didn't get any support from the medical doctors. And so that's what I used to do. And I also went through that hard emotionally where you get scared. You wonder, like, am I ever going to get, you know, really, really big? Is it going to go out of control? And that's when I started to, I would feel bad about how I looked. And I think that that's one of the things that helped me just be aggressive with everything that I had to do for myself. So I changed my diet. I started practicing yoga. I became a yoga teacher. I wear my compressions every day. I really do. That's the first thing I put on before I set foot out of the bed. I put on my stockings.
She's very compliant.
Yes. and what else? I do my dry brushing. I learned to do all those things so that I can then take the focus away from the fact that I didn't like it. So then I didn't like it. I'm going to be very honest. I'm okay now. I'm just like Rachel. Like, I even forget I have it. I walk sometimes 20,000 steps, and I go to the gym, and it's like, it doesn't stop me. And I just have to, take care of myself, and really, but it all started by making that mind shift, changing my mindset, because it was hard to see it. And and it also happened at a time that I was going through something really difficult personally. And you always wonder, like, wow, am I ever going to find a partner that's going to love me like this, And yes, it happens, like people that love you are going to love you exactly as you are. They're not just like you, Rachel, my parents. They're like, wow, your leg looks amazing. You look fine. And I also, even though I've learned to love it, I always say, like, I don't know, I don't even look at myself in the mirror that much anymore to see, the shoes and the leg pants and anything like that. I wear shorts in the summer with my stocking on. With my stocking on, I go walking with them. So it hasn't. It was something that took some time, and it took some work, and also to learn. It took me to learn to love myself as exactly as I am, lymphedema or not. Because when we think about it, the whole topic of self-love, not the narcissistic way, self-love, like really eating well, taking care of your body, making sure you rest, doing things that make you happy and bring you joy. That topic affects all of us. Even somebody that doesn't have what we have.
Yeah, I hate talking about it.
Right? And people doubt themselves, and they don't like the way they look, or they criticize every little thing about themselves. And I think everybody should work on it, because we need to love ourselves. How are you going to love other people if you don't feel love towards you? And I think that's the major thing that doesn't get talked about when you first hear that, well, you have lymphedema. We don't have a cure for it. And right away, it's very easy for the patient to get depressed and feel like, well, I give up. That's I think what happens to a lot of people, that then they just don't put that extra effort to take care of themselves in the best way that they can, to do anything that they can to feel better, look better, and it's just little things. You can start with little things every day. If it is dry brushing every other day, if you don't want to do it every day, every other day. Eating healthy. Maybe today you start with, lemon water in the morning. And then, because that's what I tell my clients, even if they don't have lymphedema, start your morning with lemon water. That's what you need. And then stay away from inflammatory foods. Flour and sugar and dairy, that's super inflammatory. And that doesn't help us either. So Yeah, those are the things that I do. I don't know what else I can.
Those are such good tips, Rocio. Thank you. Have you got a closing tip before I share a little story with you, Rachel? A tip for
I don't know. I'm trying to think. You know what? I don't think about lymphedema that much. Well, I try to think as myself as normal as possible. You know, and then my family are worse than me. They're like, Rachel, you got to put your feet up now. Like, don't forget. Like, because I forget.
you're
But yeah, like
amazing.
she said, you just got to eat healthy and exercise as much as you can. And I try to wear a lot of enclosed shoes because sometimes I fear that when I'm wearing sandals, my feet are just too big. Like my right foot, Margie knows, is a bit bigger than my left. And my ankle is a bit big on my right than my left. So I tend to get a bit paranoid, but I'm just used to it now. I wear a lot of sandals that I shouldn't, but I do. So.
But you know, when I've seen your photos when you all out and about, you show full length. There's no.
Yeah, I know.
So there's no.
I don't care.
Never mind. Don't care. Nobody notices. I didn't notice.
Yeah,
I just saw how glamorous you were.
Exactly. So
I want to share a little story with you. I'll just put the link in the thing below. There's an amazing woman I met also on LinkedIn, Rocio. She's in Western Australia, and she was diagnosed with cancer, and she chose not to have the traditional medical journey. It was breast cancer, and it was, I think, stage 4, so it was quite down the track. And she is absolutely amazing. She's just 2-3 days ago, she was cycling from Bundaberg, which is in Western Australia near Margaret River area. She cycled for awareness for cancer, not only breast cancer, all sorts of, in fact, she wanted to bring awareness for brain cancer because that is the biggest cancer that's taking children. And so she didn't even worry about the breast cancer. So in every little town that she went to, she did a lecture. She gave a lecture to cancer patients on what they can do, what they can't do. And her cancer is absolutely incredible because it wasn't treated, it actually came out. So her one breast is a completely open wound. And it's not got, it's closed up quite a lot, but she still cycled like 90 kilometers a day. She cycled 30 in the morning, had a break, 30 in the afternoon. She did 3 sets of 30 Ks a day for 3 weeks.
Oh,
it was unbelievable. So she's just completed that. Otherwise, she would have been on the call today, but we'll have her on in one of the coming months. But I'd actually interviewed her because of the amazing work she's doing with the awareness. But it just shows you what people can do. And she also has metastases. So she's living with cancer. She's living with it, and she's living a completely normal life. She's vibrant. She's motivating. And this is what I would love any patient who's going to be watching this to know there is another way to really get out of the space and know that there's lots of living to do on the other side, for sure. So I'll just share the screen for one moment. So this is this beautiful, beautiful woman. We'll just have it listen to
well and managed my condition so well. I want to be able to physically show people this is possible. So what better way than just catching up with people in the towns that I cycle through, having a pub lunch or whatever, and just having a conversation, answering questions. Obviously the fundraiser is the main aim, but there's a secondary aim to that as well, really. I just want to show people health is a vibrant, dynamic thing.
And just tell me, this cycle that you're doing, are you doing it with a whole lot of other cyclists, or are you cycling alone?
So I'm cycling alone. I have another gorgeous friend who's a retired nurse who's going to be my support vehicle. But I'd be delighted if, as I cycle through towns, cycle clubs, or people want to join me for an hour's ride, a couple of hours ride. You know, I mean, I have no problem with that at all.
So
But
where are you going to?
So I start at Busselton Jetty.
Yes.
I cycle down towards, through the little towns, Pemberton, Denmark, Walpole. It's the other way around, actually, in terms of geography. End up in Albany. I head out to Bremer Bay, through to Esperance, up to Norseman, out to Eucla. And then I turn around and I head back, but I cut across the middle west. So I go through Hyden, Narrogin, Manjimup, Nanup, and then I end up almost 7 weeks later back at Busselton Jetty.
But isn't she amazing? I mean,
yes,
just incredible.
Yeah, I want to watch the whole interview.
Yes, I'll send you the link. So the other thing I thought I'd just mention, because most of you or some of you know that I race dragon boats. Now, I must tell you, our club is over 100 paddlers, and we have one boat every Sunday, which they call the Pink Ladies. And these are all ladies. And I can tell you, one of the oldest women in the club, she's 82. She's a breast cancer survivor, and she paddles every Sunday, and she's 82. It's an hour and a half paddle, and it's quite vigorous, but they come, they love it. It's community. And in the 4 years I've been with the club, only one lady has passed over. So these are real, and I think it's really important for anybody who's got one of these life-threatening conditions, even though they all have lymphedema, one of these life-threatening conditions, which lymphedema is not, it's important to live life to the full, all the way, all the time. So I just thought I'd share that, because I must get some pictures of them next Sunday. And I'll maybe get a photograph with them, because they're such beautiful, beautiful people. So, so from me, thank you, Rocio. Thank you. Rocio.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you sharing your life attitude to help others be just like you, to move forward with ease and grace and with a really good attitude. So take care for now. And I just want the next lymphedema call, it's on the 7th of December. So it's Wednesday, the 7th of December at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sydney.
Yes, same time. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.